Hello, today I've got a bit unusual review, but before we proceed, a few words of introduction. You know, I'm probably not a true audiophile because I believe that future of sound is wireless and comfort is number one priority in the audio and especially in the portable audio. So I definitely believe that in future we'll have more and more Bluetooth devices and Bluetooth became better and better, and of course true wireless earphones, earbuds in ears will become more and more popular. Of course, first player on this market was Apple releasing their AirPods, and after that appeared so many models. And I think it's not very interesting to make a review of AirPods because everyone know about them, but I wanted to review something from another manufacturers, and about a year ago I have tried some inexpensive model from AliExpress, and it was awful, really bad models. I even don't remember the name, but actually I just gifted it to some of my neighbors. I warned this poor guy that this is really poor earphones, but he was actually pretty happy with them. And recently I decided to search once again, and actually I found out that there are really nice models appeared on the market, and few people recommend me this it's earphones, not earbuds. It's Huawei FlyPods. Sometimes it's referred as Youth Edition or Lite version, but I got them from GearBest, and at the GearBest they just listed as model H1C without these prefixes of Lite version or other stuff like that. And after spending about a week with them, I think they are really interesting model. Of course, they can't be compared with wired models, but let's have a closer look. Price is about $95 on the GearBest. I will put a link into the description, but actually they often got some sales and discounts and promotions, so often you can get them for about $70 or so. Package is small and pretty stylish. I really like this blue-green color. Unfortunately, all captions are in Chinese, but who cares about them? So some features shown here. Actually the most interesting is IP54. It's dust and water protection. Of course they are not water resistant, but at least they are sweat resistant, so they will be probably okay during the workout. Inside of the box we'll have case with earphones themselves, and small box with a bit of additional accessories. So you will have short micro USB cable for charging, and a set of tips. There are tips of different sizes and also special tips with small holes inside, so they have less sound isolation. They created for cases when you need to hear what's going on outside, for walking some busy street when it could be dangerous to isolate your ears from traffic completely, or during the workout when you don't like your ears to be overheating. And of course inside here is pretty nice stylish plastic case with earphones themselves. So accessory set is basic but pretty nice. Case is made of nice glossy white plastic. I think you can easily guess what company they're trying to probably not imitate but to make references. But actually, I like this design a bit more than Apple's one, because they're using horizontal placement of earpieces in this case, and it's a bit more comfortable. I will show a bit later why. So on the back side there is micro USB for charging. Unfortunately they didn't use USB-C. Maybe it's a limitation of so-called Lite version. And a button that is used to turn on the pairing mode. On the front panel there is a LED indicating status and charge, and actually inside there is earpieces themselves. Box opens pretty easily, and it has magnet for perfect clipping, and also magnets are holding earpieces inside, and they are really easy to grab and to put into your ear. So you just take them out and put in ear. I think it's nice and easy, and you can put them back. When you put them back, blue LED is flashing, showing that it's connected to the charging, and when you close, LED will show the current that they are charging, earpieces are charging, and the current status of this extra battery in the case. So each earpiece will provide you about 2 hours of work. I use them to watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and actually they shown 10% of charge. It was about 10 minutes left until the end of cartoon. Great cartoon, I really like it. So it was about 10 minutes until the end, so probably not 2 hours, but close to this figure. And what I also like, they show the remaining battery in the iPhone's tight status bar. So of course they are not connecting nice and easily as AirPods. You have to open the case when you first want to connect them to some source, and then you have to hold this button for a few seconds until this blue LED will start blinking. This means that they are in the pairing mode. Then you just have to go to the settings, Bluetooth settings, and actually select the device to pair. M6 is a bit slow in this aspect. So it's connected, and next time when you open it, it will be connected and automatically. So you just have to. They are disconnected, as you can see, when case is closed and they start charging, and when you open it, they are connected automatically. With iPhone they are connecting even faster, and the first time and later. As you can see, there is no aptX logo shown, no another codecs logo shown, so there is no codecs mentioned, but as far as I remember, they support SBC and Apple's AAC. So to get the better better sound quality, you need to use some device that supports AAC codec. But actually, no, even with M6 they working pretty nicely, even using SB what is its name, sub-band codec, but actually a bit later about the sound. They are pretty feature packed for such affordable and expensive device. They have this infrared sensor, so they detect are they wired or not. So if when you put them in ears, you will hear the tiny chime and they will start the playback. When you put one of the earpieces out or both, they will pause the playback. Also they support controls, so you have to double tap the right earpiece to play or pause, and left earpiece double tap will activate the voice helper. Unfortunately you can't change these functions if I remember right, but I think it's pretty normal. Of course I'd like to have a skip functionality, but if I remember right, it's possible to achieve that on Android smartphones using some binding programs, but I'm not that familiar with Android. And actually, speaking about the Android, they have an application for the Android operating system that allows you to see the charge and update firmware, but I don't have Android, so I didn't update them. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with their current status. So, actually they started the playback and some music is playing, so I don't need that right now. They have a pretty good working range, about 10 meters in the direct side or about 8 meters with one wall beside them. Also, I've seen a lot of complaints about them over the internet, but to be honest, my experience with them are pretty good. I didn't have disconnect, I didn't have glitches, I didn't have the delays in the video, so for me they're working almost seamlessly. I don't have disconnects or something like that, but that's my experience, because as I said before, there were some complaints, so I can't guarantee, unfortunately, that they will be perfect. I'm just sharing my own experience with them. Probably, you know, connection quality can depend on the level of electromagnetic fields around you, so somewhere in the big city where there is some electric transport, when there are a lot of Wi-Fi networks around you, they could be less stable in connection, but in my area they are pretty stable. I got, you know, maybe one slight hiccup in the connection when I was trying to close them both. So I tried different scenarios. I tried player in left pocket and right pocket and so on. Actually, with the iPhone they give even better results. So they always, when I close them like this infrared sensor works and they think that they are in ears. So just put them back, and here you see. So specifications are pretty close to truth, both in terms of working time and in terms of working range. And of course about the sound, you know, I have expected worse sound, but anyway, of course they're not close to the wired earphones in this price range, powered by some even entry-level player, but anyway, if they were wired earphones, I'd probably say that it's something from the segment 30 or from $30 to $40, and yes, I think it's pretty good value for them, because, you know, sound is pretty balanced, and it surprised me a few times. First, and probably one of the most surprising things, is that they are not bassy. You know that true wireless earphones that I tested last year, they have only bass and nothing besides the low frequencies. But these earbuds offers pretty tight and impactful bass, but at the same time they not bass heavy, they don't make low frequencies accent, so they probably not even V-shaped in signature, they close, you know, to more natural and balanced models. At the same time they have a pretty decent low bass, you know. During movies and some games, they really good in providing some rumble and explosion. Of course, not too much, but anyway, pretty good for such small earpieces. Also, of course, bass depends on these tips, because you need to find the proper seal, and if you need more low frequencies you can try some third-party tips, but you need to find something not too wide, because with wider tips they just don't fit into the case and lid won't close tightly. Mids are pretty neutral, well balanced. Of course, don't expect huge resolution, because they're using subband codec or SBC, sub-bass, subband, not sure about correct meaning, SBC, and of course resolution is about average with some traces of the codec compression, but at the same time, you know, it's still pretty listenable when you walking the street or something like that. You know, you won't focus too much on the issues and on the problems. Actually, with iPhone or with devices that support AAC, they will give you noticeably better results. Of course, not as great as wired models, but still it will be a step forward. And Treble, probably it's the most suffering part from the Bluetooth compression, but anyway, Huawei tried to do their best to mask that issues. Treble here is pretty normally controlled, has average extension, but it's for good, because anyway all Bluetooth codecs cut the upper treble, so don't expect rich audiophilic layered overtones or something like that, but still they have lower part of treble is present, and it's enough for vast majority of situations. So you know, it's once again pretty balanced signature, with they even building pretty engaging imaginary stage, of course below average in size, but still pretty nice. Also, what I like about them is the microphone quality. Of course, it's not AirPods, but still, for such tiny earpieces, I've made some test calls, and actually all all persons that I have called didn't notice big issues with them. And what I also like, they support this mode. You can charge one earpiece in the case and use second one for the call, and then you can swap them, so you can use them during long calls if you need it. Such scenario, it will work. So to summarize everything, you know, for $100 or even less, you can get them for less usually if you get them with some discount. It's a really worthy thing, because they offers nice, nice for the true wireless and for this price range sound quality. Lot of useful features. They are pretty ergonomic. They fit nicely into my ears. I like fit. I have no issues with fit with them. Of course, first I need some usage, because I had that feeling that they will fall down, but they holding in my ears better than AirPods. Yes, better than AirPods. So pretty nice work time and all other things that you can probably expect. Thank you for attention.